Hi everyone, it's Shannon from StampendouslyShannon, and today we're going to do another paper pumpkin unboxing. So this is the Sending Good Thoughts kit, and it is from July 2022, so I just received mine in the mail today, so we are unboxing it together. So I'm so excited to see what is inside of this box. So let's start with our stamps here. So we have our Wishing You All the Best, Thinking of You, Can't Wait to See You, Sending Good Thoughts, this cute little sailboat. We have some kelp or seaweed, a little a seahorse, some starfish, a message. I think it's like a scroll that would be, like a message in a bottle. So it's like a piece of parchment rolled up. And then we have these cute little bubbles here. And I don't think I have a stamp that looks like this, but that's a really fun texture. Perfect. And those are really nice stamps too. So I think Thinking of You, Can't Wait to See You, of course, Sending Good Thoughts. All of those are really nice stamps that could be used for, anything under the sun, really. And then if we move on to our Stampin Spot, so we have, this is a Bermuda Bay Stampin Spot. So paper pumpkin kits come with a stamp set, the Stampin Spot, and then everything you need to make all of whatever project it is. So sometimes it'll be like 3D boxes, sometimes it'll be like little gift packs, and then sometimes, which I think it is this time, it's going to be cards. But every month, despite receiving a limited stamp set, limited to the kit stamp set, and then a Stampin Spot, the Stampin Spot will not be repeated for 12 months. So the soonest that we could get another Bermuda Bay Stampin Spot is going to be August of 2023. So it's a great way to build your Stampin' Spot collection, and these are super awesome to use with your Stamparatus because they're just a little bit smaller. They've got a smaller surface area, so when you're trying to stamp onto the Stamparatus, this is a lot less area to navigate. So these are really fantastic for that. So Bermuda Bay for this month, which is fun. It's kind of like an oceany color. I like it. And then we have our little flyer here, and there's two things, a front and a back, and I wanted to point out both of them. So number one is Celebration is here. So it started on July 1st, which was, I guess, 17 days ago. And certain items will have already run out. So I think the cards and the card envelopes have run out at this point, but almost, I think everything else, the last time I looked, was in stock. It is while supplies last. So once these things are gone, they are no longer going to, guarantee them. So if you want something from the Celebration brochure, I would definitely recommend, shopping early, just to make sure that you get everything that you want out of this one catalog. Now the mini catalog, the July through December mini catalog, or the holiday mini catalog, that is good until December. So there's no rush to necessarily shop out of that one, but the Celebration ends on August 31st. And then the next thing on the back side here, this is Sweet Sunflowers. This is going to be the next paper pumpkin kit, and there are some super beautiful special little gifts inside of this paper pumpkin kit. Number one, look how beautiful that box is, right? And I love sunflowers. I love flowers in general. So this kit is going to have sunflowers. I think it's going to be cards, but it has 2 ink spots in it. And then it's also going to have some printed die cut pieces and some fun embellishments. So you want to subscribe by the 10th of August in order to get yours. And that's how Paper Pumpkin works. So you have to subscribe by the 10th of every month in order to get that month's kit. So this was the July 2022 kit, so you had to subscribe by July 10th in order to get the kit. Now Stampin' Up! Does do refills, and sometimes they will sell the extra kits, and you do have to be a subscriber in order to purchase those. So if you go online to the kits section of Stampin' Up's website, you will actually see like a refills and past Paper Pumpkins kit section. And if you are a subscriber, you can actually shop that section, and it will be, sometimes it'll be full kits, sometimes it'll be refills. If it's a full kit, it's going to have the Stampin' Spot and the stamps. If it's a refill, it's going to have just the paper products, the adhesives, and everything else besides the ink and the stamps in order to remake all of the projects. Now, I have known people to buy the refill kits, subscribe, they'll subscribe, they will get the refill kits, and then they just will use a different set of stamps. And that is also a real possibility. So if Stampin' Up! Does not release any more of these kits, but you are still interested in the contents of this box, that is an option for sure. So now let's go ahead and open this up. Ooh, look at those bright colors already. It's so hard to get it out of here. Let's move this out of the way. All right, so we can start with our cute little instruction booklet. So this kit, again, I think it should be 9 cards. I think we'll have to look a little deeper. So cute. And then one thing I'd like to point out is that this kit, I know I mentioned the message in a bottle, so I haven't seen them yet, but look at how fun these are. So we've got like a boat inside of the bottle, and then we have this little bottle here as well with the message in it. And I'm pretty sure that this is actually coordinates kind of with one of Stampin' Up's stamp sets in the annual catalog. I honestly forget the name, but it has this little bottle shape, and it actually has a punch. So if you really love this design of this card, you can so easily remake that using this stamp and using that bottle punch. And even if it's not an exactly the same, I think it's close enough that I think that this will work in it. So that's an option too. So let's go ahead and look at our book. So we have our 3 designs here. We've got this, I think this might be Fresh Freesia. This is maybe Bermuda Bay, and then this Evening Evergreen, maybe. And then on the inside, it's a full color instruction booklet. It does give you a nice ruler on the side. And the first page, or the first, little picture here, number 1 usually, it actually spells out all of the supplies that you're going to need to make that card. So actually, oh, they must have changed that. So these are the instructions to make each card, but on this inside flap here, you can see 1, 2, 3. So this is how you can separate all of your supplies. So if you are wanting to make, you're wanting to do all 3 of each of these at once, you can just kind of separate your supplies out just like they have here, and voila, that will be your kits or your cards that you have. And then on the back, it also shows you everything that comes in the kit. It is for 9 cards, and it is 9 envelopes. And then the coordinating colors are Balmy Blue, Basic Gray, Bermuda Bay, Fresh Freesia, Pacific Point, and Poppy Parade. And then another thing to mention, they have a little QR code up here that tells you how to make the kit. And then they also have additional designs here, and then there's like a Facebook group and different links that you can actually use to see additional ideas with these projects. So if you're not sure you want 3 of each of these, maybe you just want 1 of each, and then you want to do something fun and creative for the other 6 cards. There are some fun places where you can get some ideas. And that's one thing I will say, I always make at least 1 of each of the cards that come in the kit. And I do that, number 1, because I think that these, sometimes the photographs don't do them justice. So as I'm, crafting, I'll make 1 of each and then decide, do I want to make the rest, or do I want to have, do I want to, be more creative and use these things in different ways? So that's an option too. I also think that making the 3 initial cards gives me like a little boost in the right direction. So if I start making something that I know, like I have a plan for it, then I can say, you know what, next time I'm going to do this instead. And that little tiny bit of, that little spark of creativity kind of grows as I start stamping. So there, I'll put that off to the side. And then as always, keep your cardboard here. It's great for mailing cards with embellishments. It's great for doing watercolor painting. It's great for, I have 100,000 uses for this piece of cardboard. I have a huge stack of it from all of my Stampin' Up! Supplies. And I would definitely keep this if you have any use for it. It's also really good for junk journaling. I would say it's about the same thickness as a, almost as thick as like a piece of chipboard, really. It's pretty thick. You can see it's not really flexible at all. And then we have our, this looks like linen thread, which is fantastic and is in the annual catalog. So if you do run out of this, there is an opportunity to purchase that still. And then we have our glue dots. Now these are glue dots, but they're not the same glue dots that Stampin' Up! Sells. They're just a little bit different. They have a little sticker on one side and then they're pressed up onto an acrylic sheet. So, but they function the same as glue dots. So we're gonna call them glue dots for the purpose of this. And then we have our dimensionals, and they are the bigger dimensionals, which I find I use a lot more than the little ones, so that's fantastic. And I will say I always have leftovers, so I don't think within one kit that I've ever used all of my glue dots or all of my dimensionals. I usually just put them off to the side and then use them up over the course of other crafts and whatnot. So I always have leftovers, which is fantastic, of course, because then I can use them for other projects. And this looks like, is this, okay, so this must be balmy blue. I was going to say it looks like pool party. This must be like a balmy blue envelope, and they don't have liners in them this time, so they're just really pretty blue envelopes. I do think that they're light enough that you could write right on these, so I don't think you would need to like print stickers or anything like that. Sometimes on the really dark envelopes, Stampin' Up! Is pretty cognizant that people will obviously send them, so they will put a, like a lighter box on there, but these will be absolutely fine to write on, I think, especially if you use like a darker colored pen. No problem there. And then we have, these look like maybe our embossed pieces for, wow, these are really pretty, for our cards. So we've got these, let's see, I'm guessing these are supposed to be vertical, but maybe not. Yes, okay, so these are vertical, or sorry, the piece of paper is vertical, long side on the side, and then the stripes themselves are actually horizontal. So we have those two, which are fantastic. So this is Bermuda Bay, and this looks like it might be on top of like a spotted balmy blue. And then we've got a Pacific Point, which is fun because this is meant to be like an ocean, Pacific. And then we have our clouds that are embossed up here on the top. And we've got this cute little paint spatter. Is it spatter? Splatter? I think it's splatter. So we got this paint splatter. And then lastly, we have this fresh freesia piece. This is fantastic. I love, of all of those I just showed, this one is definitely my favorite. So they look like little waves. And then it's fresh freesia, and it's got this ombre. So it starts off really super light, and then it goes down to this darker, fresh freesia kind of hue, really. So I think this is probably more true to fresh freesia, and then the rest of this is just kind of like faded into it. So fantastic pieces. And I love the tone on tone that we're going for here. So this is the fresh freesia card base, and in order to make this card, we're actually just going to stick that on top of there, just like that, right? So that is really fun, tone on tone there. I like that quite a lot. So we've got 3 of the fresh freesia bases. Then we have some die cuts here. These are really fun. So you know what? I'm taking it back now. It does look like the same bottle, and it might actually be the same shape, but the bottle that is in the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog, I don't believe it has that stopper on it. So I think that might actually be the bottle in the catalog, but that stopper is not on there. So you could easily, I think, make that with like, another piece of cardstock maybe, or you could maybe use some type of embellishment. I'm trying to think of what else you could use for that. A little piece of chipboard or something. But the one in the catalog will not have that little stopper on it. So we've got 3 of each of these. We've got this super pretty, like, I guess it's a banner, like a vertical banner. And then we've got a little tag for our message in a bottle. So you'll punch this out. You'll take out this little spot here, and then you'll actually put some of that linen thread through it, and you'll stamp on top of that. So that's really fun. So it's a sentiment card. And this is our bottle that we are going to put our boat in. So right there, this is the sentiment piece here. So you can see you just tied it on with the linen thread. And I don't think that's probably actually really tied on. Maybe it is, but I don't think it's actually really tied on. I think it's probably just stuck on there with a glue dot, which is fun. And then we have our big bottle, which is for our big sailboat, like the boat in a bottle situation. And then we have our other bottle here, which is just this larger white one here. So we get 3 of each of those. Oh, Do we get 3 or 4? Maybe they said, nope, we get 3. Okay, perfect. So these are the exact amount. So you need 3 of each of these in order to make it. So no duplicates there. So you do get 2 sides to every piece of cardstock, right? So there is like a backup plan for these pieces. But if you're stamping your sailboats, just be a little bit careful about where you're putting that. I think that the dark blue is meant to be on the bottom so that when you're putting your boat in here, the boat is going to be on the water, right? So that's the bottles here. So let's move those off to the side. And then I'm thinking this is maybe gray granite. Let's see. A basic gray, which I think is actually the darkest gray. I think. So smoky, there's gray granite, which is more of like a brown tinted gray. And then there's smoky slate, which is I think a true gray. And then there's basic gray, which is going to be like your super dark gray. So you get 3 of that as well. And then we have some more sentiment pieces here. So these are going to be for that Fresh Freesia card. And then these are going to be for the sailboat card, and you get 4 of each of those. Oh, and you know what? They gave us a little extra one here too, which is just going to be for the bottle. So they did give you an extra one of that, which is fantastic because I can foresee, it's a small enough piece that I can foresee myself needing to do it at least 1 additional time. So that off the side. And then we have 3 pieces, or 3 cardstock bases for, I think these are Bermuda Bay. And that is going to be for our message in a bottle. So it's going to go with the horizontal striped piece there. So there's that. These are really pretty colors. I don't know that I would have ever thought to pair Bermuda Bay, Fresh Freesia, and Basic Gray together, but they look fantastic, don't they? Let's pull these out. Isn't that a nice color combination? I really don't know that I ever would have thought to pair those together, but I'm looking at it and I'm not sure why, because it's fantastic. And then we have more die cuts here. So we've got some little seagulls. These little guys are really cute. And it looks like we get 3 of each of all of these here. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And then we've got this super pretty coral, which is going to go, this purple, blue, or I guess the Fresh Freesia, Pacific Point, and Bermuda Bay coral is going to go with our horizontal striped card. And then the red coral is going to go with the Fresh Freesia card. So that's a really nice contrast there. And I think that red is actually, yeah, Poppy Parade. And then we've got our seahorse, which also goes with that Fresh Freesia card. Our starfish, Fresh Freesia card, and then all the seagulls go with the boat card. And I will point out too, they did use some linen thread on the bottle. And then if we go back to when I first opened this box up, I said that this is a really nice texture stamp, and I kind of thought it was going to be bubbles, like bubbles from, you know, the sea floor or something. But actually, it looks like they used it to make that starfish there, if you can see that. So it looks like it's meant to be almost like I'm not a marine biologist, but like a scale on the starfish. But then also over here, you can see that they actually used it for texture right here. So, again, that's a really fun stamp, and I think that stamp will actually do, you know what, as I was flipping my card over here, I actually saw that I did a demonstration on the kissing technique, and I think this would be a fantastic stamp to do that kissing technique on. So I have another video that kind of shows you how, actually it was this exact card, I think. I have another video that shows you how to do that kissing technique. But I think that whenever I see texture stamps like this, that's exactly what I think of as that kissing technique. I'm like, ooh, that would be really fun to put that on a heart, or to put that, on this case, you know, you could put it on your message in a bottle up here. You could put it on your seahorse. But any, like, solid shape also would work for that, like a heart or something like that. So perfect for that. And then I think that's it. Sometimes the kits just keep going and going, and this one I think has the perfect amount of pieces. Not too many, but not too few either. So that is our paper pumpkin box. So we've got all of our cards here. We're getting everything to make 9 cards. Lots of die cuts. Lots of embossed pieces. These pieces are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You do get, I got worried I only had 2 of each, but I do have 3 of each, so you get 3 of each of these to make your beautiful cards. not to mention your Stampin Spot and all of your adhesives and your beautiful stamp set. So that is the July 2022 Sending Good Thoughts Paper Pumpkin Kit. If you have any questions about Paper Pumpkin, or if you'd like to have a mini catalog, annual catalog, and or celebration brochure sent to you, please let me know. I'm happy to send one of those to you if you live in the United States for free of charge. And if you don't live in the United States, please still let me know. I'm happy to direct you to another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that lives in a country where you are. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. And I'm looking forward to seeing you for August 2022 kit, which is going to be the Sweet Sunflowers. Have a great day.